everyone, welcome to ACE Online, and in this particular video I'm back with a series of 1000+ questions of quantitative aptitude in the reasoning. So if you're preparing for any competitive exams in which there's a section of quantitative aptitude and the reasoning, then these sessions are very beneficial for you. And if you know such persons who are preparing for such competitive exams, if I specifically talk about, then if someone is preparing for railway, SSC, banking, some state-based examination, some central-based examination, or some technical-based examination where there's a section of quantitative aptitude and the reasoning, then these sessions are beneficial for all those students. So don't waste time, just simply share the link of this particular video in your respective groups so that more students can join us and do practice more and more. So without wasting much more time, let's start our today's session and let's see what questions we are having and how we are going to approach them. So this is our first question, and the question is saying that a dice is numbered from 1 to 6 in different ways. If 1 is opposite to 5 and 2 is opposite to 3, then we need to select one of the option out of these given 4 options. So what is the correct answer? This question is a very simple one. Whenever we are having questions from the concept of dice, that means we can solve it in 1 to 2 seconds. That's it. We are only need to apply one single property and we can easily able to solve this particular question. We know that whenever we talk about dice is made up of a cube, right? And opposite pairs can never be adjacent to each other. The point that we need to keep in our mind is opposite pairs can never be adjacent to each other. We just simply need to take care of this property and we will get our answer. So what answer we people are getting? Any one of you in the comment section? It's a very simple one. Here it is clearly given that 1 is opposite to 5, 2 is opposite to 3. So I can say that the rest pairs or the rest numbers are 4 and 6. So 4 is opposite to 6. Now we know that if 4 is opposite to 6, so we can just simply able to eliminate the option with the help of this particular property that opposite pair can never be adjacent to each other. So 4 is adjacent to 3 and 6. 4 can be adjacent to 3 but can never be adjacent to 6 as 4 and 6 are opposite pairs. So because of this, this option is eliminated, right? Okay. 3 is adjacent to 4 or 6. We can say that because the opposite pair of 3 is 2. All we need is 2 can never be adjacent to 3, okay. 4 is adjacent to 5 and again 6. So because of this 6, this option is eliminated. 6 is adjacent to 3 and this option is eliminated. So out of 4, 3 options are eliminated and we are only left with one option, and that means option number B is the correct one. Option number B is the correct one. We just simply need to take care of this property which says that opposite pair can never be adjacent to each other, or we can say that adjacent numbers or adjacent faces can never be opposite pair, right? So based on this particular property, we are having one more question. So the question is saying that 3 positions A, B and C of a dice are shown in the following figures. Which numbers lies opposite to 6? What we need to do? We just simply need to find out the opposite pair of 6, or we need to find out how many dots will lie in the opposite of 6. So what answer we got over here? Anyone in the comment section? It's a very simple one. Again, we need to take care of the same property that opposite pair can never be adjacent to each other. And what we have to do, we just simply have to find out the opposite pair of 6. So here I can see that here I am having 4 dots, 5 dots, 1 single dot, 6 dots, 4 dots, 3 dots, right? Here I am having 6 dots, 2 dots and 5 dots. So here I can see that it can never be 4, it can never be 3. Similarly, it can never be 2, it can never be 5. So if I see the option, this 2 is eliminated, this 4 is eliminated, and this 5 is eliminated. I'm only left with one option, that is option number C. Option number C is the correct one. Why I eliminated these options? Because these faces are adjacent face of 6. These faces or these numbers are adjacent to 6. So simply I can say that these options can never be, or these faces can never be opposite pair of 6. So I could just simply eliminated this options, right? Sai, the correct answer over here is option number C, not option number B, right? Or let's suppose if I don't know this particular concept, and after that also I need to find out the opposite pairs. So I can say that, or if I want to find out all the opposite pair, so I just simply try to figure out in which two views or in which two positions I am only having one common number. So if I consider my B and C together, I can say that only this 6 face is common, right? So I just simply write it like this, 6 and 6. I'll write it in 2 rows. Okay. Now I move either in the clockwise direction or in the anti-clockwise direction. So right now I'm moving in the clockwise direction. So here the numbers that I have got is 4 and 3, and here I got 2 and 5. Now I'll replace the common number or the repeated number with the number which we are left with. So this 6 is replaced by 1, and these are what? These are my opposite pairs. These are what? These are my opposite pairs, right? So these are what? These are my opposite pairs. Is it clear? Right? The correct option over here is your option number C. Clear? Next. The next question says that find the value of x. Here we are having this x, and what we need to do, we just simply need to analyze the given data carefully, and accordingly what I have to figure out, I have to figure out the value of x. What I have to do, I just simply have to figure out the value of x. Any one of you, it's a very simple one. Just simply see the numbers carefully and you will get your answer. Any one of you in the comment section, what answer we are getting? Okay, let's see. If I see the data row wise, I got to know that if I add these numbers and divide it by 2, I'll get my middle column. See, here if I add 4 and 2 together and if I divide it by 2, I'll get the middle number. Here 6 by 2, it gives me 3. Similarly, if I'll see in this one, 5 plus 3, that is 8, 8 plus 1, that is nothing but 10, 10 by 2 is nothing but 5. And that's what we are having in the middle of this. Here, 6 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3 plus 1 divided by 2. Here what we got? 8, 8 and 1, 9, 9, 10, 10 and 6, 16. 16 by 2, it gives us 8. Do we have 8 in the middle? Yes. We'll check the same thing with the fourth row as well. Here what we are having? 7, 7 plus 2 plus 4 plus 3, right? Divided by 2. Here this is 9, 9 and 7, 16. 16 divided by 2, again I got 8 as my answer. Now I have to apply the same logic with this particular row, row number 5th. So this is nothing but 9 plus 3 divided by 2, that is nothing but 12 by 2, and we got our answer as 6. That means your option number B is the correct one. Your option number B is the correct one. Very good, sir. Right? Mahesh, the correct answer over here is your option number B. Clear? Okay. Let's move towards the next question and let's see what next question we are having. This is a very good person. This is very like you need to think accordingly and you have to work on the values or the numbers that you are having, right? So the question is saying that Akul, Kshitij, Nakul and Dhruv are four brothers playing a game where the loser doubles the money of each of the other player, right? By giving them from his share of that point of time. They played 4 games and each brother lost 1 game in alphabetical order. At the end of the game, each brother had total 64 coins or the 64 points or 64 rupees, right? Now, according to this data, what we need to figure out, who started with the lowest amount. Here we are having 4 brothers. All of these 4 brothers are having different amount, right? Now, with the help of this particular data, as it is clearly given that the loser will give the amount what other players are having. Basically, if someone is having 2 rupees, then the loser need to make it as 4, the double of it, right? From its own share. Now they played 4 games and each of the game, one brother like lost that game and they lost the game in the alphabetical order. And in the ending of the game, each brother is having 64 rupees with them. 64 rupees with them. So, with the help of this data, we need to figure out who started with the lowest amount. How we are going to find out? Need to figure out this one. Here we are having 4 brothers. So, we will make a table like this. Okay, option number A, let's see. We are having one more question based on the same data and it asks that what was the amount left with Nakul at the end of the second round? So what answer we people are getting for this one? We are having the exactly same data but the question is different. We need to figure out like what was the amount left with Nakul at the end of the second round. What answer we people are getting? Okay, let's start discussing this particular question. The question is very simple, right? Here the question is saying that they played 4 games, right? So I'm writing in the decreasing format. It states me the number of rounds. This states me the 4th round. As we are having the data in the ending, they all had 64 rupees, right? Here, 3rd round, 2nd round, 1st round, and in the initial, how much amount they are having, right? Okay. So the question is saying that in the ending, everyone is having 64 rupees, okay? So Akul is having 64 rupees, Dhruv is also having 64 rupees, Kshitij is also having 64 rupees and Nakul is also having 64 rupees, right? This is what the question is saying. But the question is saying that game in the alphabetical order. So when this 4th round conducted or the amount is distributed, so we can say that at the end of the third round, Nakul lost the games, right? So Nakul needs to pay all of them. So before you like make it like 64, Akul is having 32 rupees. So Nakul paid 32 rupees more to Nakul so that it will get double of it, right? Similarly here he is also he is also having 32 rupees. But at this moment, Nakul is having something more. So how much amount Nakul is having? So he distributed 32 rupees to 3 persons. So 32 into 3. So right now he is having 96 rupees, right? But he is having some more amount with himself as well. So what we need to do, we just simply need to add this amount as well in it, 64. So right now, at, at this particular moment, Nakul is having 160 rupees, right? When this amount is like in this particular order, at that moment, Kshitij lost his game. So Kshitij needs to compensate each and every other player, right? What Kshitij needs to do, Kshitij needs to compensate. So let's suppose Akul is having 16 rupees. So Kshitij gave 16 rupees to Akul so that it will able to make it as double of it. That means 32. Similarly, Dhruv is having again 16 rupees and Nakul is having 80 rupees. Now Kshitij gave 80 rupees to Nakul so that it will become double of it. So we need to figure out how much Kshitij is having at that moment. So he distributed 16 to 1, 16 to Dhruv and 80 to Nakul. And initially how much amount he had? He had 32 rupees. We just simply need to add all of them. So here what we are having 64 plus 80. That means it is having 144 amount. 144. He is having a total of 144. Okay. So we just simply write 144 over here, right? Now at this moment, Dhruv lost the game, right? At this moment, Dhruv lost the game. So how much amount we are having in this situation? Akul is having 8. Dhruv is also having, no, Dhruv is having some more amount as Dhruv needs to pay, right? Dhruv needs to pay. So at this moment, Kshitij is having 72 rupees and he is having 40 rupees. Again, what we need to do is to add the rest values. 72, 40, 72, 40 and here we need to add 8. So 0 and 1 is carry forward, 11, 12. And we need to add the 16 as well, plus 16. That means here, Dhruv is having at this moment, Dhruv is having 136 rupees. But in the very initial level, the first game lost by Akul. That means Akul needs to distribute the rest amount. So here, at this moment, how much amount Dhruv is having on the very initial level? So we just need to make half of it. So here we are having 6 and 68. Here we got 36 and here we got 20. So we need to figure out how much amount Akul is having in the starting. We just again simply need to add the values. We just simply need to add the values. So 68, 36 and 20. And we need to add this 8 as well. So 8 and 8, 16. 16 and the 1 carry forward. No, we are having 6 as well. So 2 and the 1 is carry forward. 16, 2 is carry forward. So here we are having 5, 5 and 6, 11, 11 and 13. Akul is having total 132 rupees in the starting. So the first question is asking that who started with the lowest amount? So we can see that Nakul started with the lowest amount. So the correct option over here is your option number C. The correct option over here is your option number C. Clear? So we just simply need to understand the language of the question and easily able to answer it, right? The second question is asking that what was the amount left with Nakul at the end of second round? At the end of second round, that means he left with 80 rupees. No, he is left with, wait, at the end of second round, Nakul is left with 80 rupees or we are having 70, 42, 72, 144, 132 and 160. We are not even having the option. We are not even having the option. The correct option over here is 80. The correct option over here is 80. He is left with 80 rupees. Right? The correct option over here is your 80. Okay, next. The next question is again from the concept of puzzles. So the question is saying that Read the information given below and answer the following questions. The question is saying that Aman planted some plants in his lawn but in a certain fixed pattern. In the most of the rows, there is neither rose nor marigold. There are two more rows of orchid than tulips and two more rows of rose than orchids, right? There are four more rows of roses than tulips. There are not as many rows of lily as fireball. There is one less marigold row than rose. There is just one row of tulip. The maximum number of rows he planted is 6. Now on the basis of this data, we are having one more question over here. So what you need to do? You just simply need to understand the language of this particular puzzle and try to answer this particular question where the question is asking, what is the sum of the rows of orchids and marigold he planted? We just simply need to find out the values first and afterwards we just simply need to add the numbers. Just try to understand the language and try to figure out the answers of these particular questions. Any one of you in the comment section, what answer we people are getting? Question is very simple. Okay, let's try to figure out the values. So from this clue, I can say that the number of rows that we are having of tulip is 1 only. Right? Okay. The most of the rows, there is neither rose nor marigold. Okay. There are two more rows of orchids than tulips. Right? So if I want to write down, I can write down orchids is nothing but tulip plus 2. Right? I can write it like this. And I know that the value of tulip is nothing but 1. So I'll just substitute the values. I got to know that the number of rows of orchids that we are having is 3 only. Right? Next. And 2 more rows of rose than orchids. So the question is saying that if I have to figure out the number of rows of roses, it is nothing but orchid plus 2. So from this one, I have the value of number of rows of orchid. So I just simply substitute the value of O. And here what I got? I got 5 as rows of roses. Right? We are having 5 rows of roses. Now in the next line, it is given that there are 4 rows of roses than tulips. So the question is saying that roses is nothing but tulip plus 4. Is this condition and this value satisfying? Yes. If you will put the value of t over here, which is nothing but equal to 1, again you will get the value of r as 5. And here also we are having the value of r is 5 only. Okay. Next. There are not as many rows of lily as fireballs. So we can say that the number of rows that we are having of fireball is more than the number of rows that we are having of lily, right? Okay. There is one less marigold row than rose. Okay, so marigold is nothing but rose minus 1, right? And we are having the value of r, right? And that is nothing but 5. So we can say that the value of marigold is nothing but 4, right? The value of marigold is nothing but 4. The maximum number of rows he planted is 6. And here if you will see 1, we are having 3, 5 and 4. Now we are only left with 2 and 6 and we are also left with 2 types of flowers. So it is as given that the number of rows of lily are less than the fireball. So we can say that here this is 6 and this is 2. We can just simply assume it, right? as per the rest values. Now, the question is asking that what is the sum of the rows of orchids and marigold. So, here we are having marigold and here we are having orchids. So, it is nothing but 3 plus 4. So, we got our answer as option number A, 7. We got our answer as option number A, 7. Is it clear? Next. The next question says that how many rows of fireball did he plant it? So, the possible values that we are having is 2 and 6. And according to this value, we can easily able to say that that is nothing but 6. Option number C is the correct one. Option number C is the correct one. Clear? Next. Let's talk about the next question. So, the next question says that given digits 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, how many distinct digit numbers greater than 3000 can be formed? This is a previous year question, but what we need to do, we just simply need to solve this particular question. And what answer we people are getting? This one is an easy one. This question is a very easy one. So what answer we people are getting? Any one of you in the comment section? Question is saying that I have to make a 4-digit number, but that number should be greater than 3000. The question is simply like this. And I need to use these digits only. These given digits only. So what answer we people are getting? Okay, let's start discussing this. As I need to make a number which is greater than 3000, so I know that over this place I can't place 2, right? I can't place 2. So the only possible values that I can put at the 1000 place, it is either 3 or 4, right? It is either 3 or 4. So I'm just considering my case number 1, where I am putting 3 as my 1000th place. 3 at my 1000th place, right? So now how many distinct numbers we are having? 2, 3 and 4, right? 2, 3 and 4. So over here I can put either 2, 3 or 4. Same, I can put 2, 3, 4. Here 2, 3, 4. So for each position, how many choices I am having? So in this manner, how many numbers I can form? So 1, as this number is fixed. Next, how many choices I am having? 3 choices. 3. For this position, again I am having 3 choices. And for the last one's place as well, I am having 3 choices. That means in total, I can able to make 27 numbers. But if you will see carefully, you got to know that you are only having 2 2s. So you can't make 3. You can't able to make 3 triple 2 as a number. You can't able to make such number, right? Similarly, you can't make this number as well, because you are only having 4 3s and 1 3 is already utilized over here, right? You can't able to make this number. Wait, are we doing any mistake over here? We can able to make this number. Triple 3. I guess we need to reduce this number. Just skip this particular number, right? So we can't able to make this number as well. So now we are only left with 25 numbers. We are only left with 25 numbers, right? Now we just simply consider case 2, right? Where we can fix 4 over here. So again, how many choices we are having? 3 choices. 1 into 3 into 3 into 3, right? So in this case also again I got 27 numbers. I got 27 numbers. Which number we can't make over here? Again that is 4222. So we just simply eliminate one, and here we got 26 numbers. Well, the only number that you can't create is this one. So we are having options now. Let's consider this number as well. Let's consider this number as well. So here we just simply subtract 1, and here we got 26 numbers. So we need to figure out how many numbers we can create. So 26 and 26, that is nothing but we can easily able to create 52 numbers. We can easily able to create 52 numbers. Is it clear? If we are having such case also, in that case, how many numbers we can create which is greater than 3000? That is nothing but 52 numbers. Is it clear? Is it clear? Right? Let's move forward. And the next question says that 5 skilled workers can build a wall in 20 days. 8 semi-skilled workers can build a wall in 25 days. 10 skilled workers can build a wall in 30 days. If a team has 2 skilled, 6 semi-skilled and 5 unskilled workers, how long will it take to build the wall, or we can say the same wall? Again, this is a very simple one. Again, this one is a very simple one. All we need to do is we just simply need to apply the concept of same work. We just simply need to apply the concept of same work. So how we are going to solve this particular question? Any one of you in the comment section? It's the previous year question. Okay, let's start discussing it. As we know that here the work is same, so we can easily able to apply the concept of M1 D1 equals to M2 D2 is equals to M3 D3 and so on, right? So here the question is saying that I am having 5 skilled workers which completed some work in 20 days. M1 D1, which is equals to the same work is done by 8 semi-skilled workers in how many days? In 25 days. Okay. The same work is done by 10 unskilled workers in 30 days. Basically, we are having this data. Now, with the help of this data, we just simply able to figure out the efficiency ratio of skilled, semi-skilled and unskilled workers. So we just start eliminating it with the help of 5. We start eliminating it. Here I got 4, 5 and 6. Right? Now again with the help of 5 I can eliminate. Here 1, here I got 2 and here I got 1. Right? Now with the help of 4 we can eliminate it. Here I got 1, 2 and here I am left with 3. So from this data I can say that skilled workers is equals to twice of semi-skilled workers is equals to thrice of unskilled workers, right? Now if I want to write down the efficiency ratio in between this skilled, semi-skilled and unskilled workers, so I can write it as 6:3:2. This is my efficiency ratio. This is what? This is my efficiency ratio of these workers. With the help of this efficiency ratio, first I need to figure out the total work that we are having. Total work that we are having. So it is quite easy to multiply in this one as we are having 2 zeros, right? So 10 multiplied. What is the efficiency of unskilled worker? That is 2 into 30. So the total work that we are having is of 600 units. that is of 600 units, right? Okay, very good, Jaipur. Let's see. Now what we need to do? Now we need to build the same wall with a team of 2 skilled, 5 semi-skilled and 6 semi-skilled and 5 unskilled workers. So we need to find out the number of days. Number of days says that the total work done divided by the total efficiency. Now the total efficiency of 2 skilled workers, 6 semi-skilled workers and 5 unskilled workers. So I just simply need to add all these values. 600 divided by 12 plus 18, that is 30, 30 and 10, that is 40. 600 divided by 40, and here I got my answer is 15 days. In 15 days they will build the same wall. Option number D is the correct one. Option number D is the correct one. Clear? Again, this is a very simple question and the correct answer over here is your option number D. Let's move further and let's talk about the next question. So the next question says that the market price of one pen is rupees X. The selling price of one of X pens after a discount of 15% is rupees 1360. What is the value of X? What we need to do? We just simply need to find out the value of X. How we are going to attempt this particular question? The question is very simple. The marked price of a pen is given, and here the question is saying that the shopkeeper is selling a packet in which we are having X pens, and it is giving the discount as well. Discount is of 15%, and after that he is selling it in 1360 rupees. So with the help of this data, we just simply need to figure out the value of X. Fighter 40. Let's see, very good, I guess the answer is correct. So the question is saying that the marked price of one pen is X rupees, right? So if we are having X pens, that means the marked price is X square rupees, right? This is the normal thing, okay. Now the question is saying that if a shopkeeper is selling this much of pen, so the cost price or the selling price of a particular pen is nothing but X square, the marked price, and we always give the discount on the marked price always. So we are giving a discount of 15%. That means we are giving it on 85% of the total amount. That is divided by 100, and according to the quotient, it is nothing but it is equals to this one. So we just simply need to figure out the value of this, right? Here if we will solve it, we got to know that this is present on the multiple of 16. This is present on the multiple of 16, right? And here X square is nothing but 1600. So the value of X that we got over here is of 40 rupees. The correct answer over here is your option number B. The value that we got over here is option number B, 40. Clear? This is a very simple one. Next. The next question says that a trader sells an article at 16% below its cost price. Had he sold it for rupees 192.20 more, he would have gained 15%. The cost price in rupees of the article is what we need to do. We just simply need to figure out the cost price of that particular article. What is the correct answer of this particular question? Here what we need to do, we just simply need to figure out the cost price of a particular article. Any one of you in the comment section? Okay, let's start discussing this as well. So I'm just assuming that the cost price of a particular article is of 100 rupees, right? This is my assumed value, right? So the question is saying that if a trader sells an article at 16% below of its cost price. So the cost price that we assumed over here is 100. That means the 16% of it is 16 only. So we can say that it is selling it in 84 rupees, right? It is selling it at 84 rupees. But if he sold it rupees 192.20 more, then he would get a gain of 15%. So instead of 100 rupees, he will get 115 rupees, right? So here the difference that we got over here is of 31, right? The difference that we got over here is of 31. But according to the question, this difference is actually equal to 192.20, right? That means it is present on the multiple of approximately 6. It is present on the multiple of approximately 6. So it is nothing but 6.2. Now what we need to do, we just simply need to figure out the cost price. So it is present on the multiple of 6.2. That means we need to multiply it as well by 6.2, and here we got our answer as 620 rupees. Option number B is the correct one. Option number B is the correct one. This is a very simple one, right? Very good, Jaipur, Laddu and Fighter. And the correct answer over here is your option number B. Next. The next question says that a person goes from P to Q at a speed of 20 km per hour. Then he goes from Q to R at a speed of Q kilometers per hour. Finally, the person goes from R to S at a speed of R kilometers per hour. The distance from P to Q, Q to R and R to S are equal if the average speed of P to R is 280 by 11 kilometers per hour and the average speed of Q to S is 112 by 3 kilometers per hour, then value of R. We need to find out the value of small r. How we are going to approach this particular question? How we are going to approach this particular question? The question is saying that the question is very simple. The question is saying that here we are having a distance like this, right? A person started with P, goes to Q, right? At a speed of 20 kilometers per hour. Let's suppose this distance is equals to D, right? Then he goes from Q to R. Again the distance is same, that is D, but the speed that he is having is of Q kilometers per hour. Now he went from R to S and with the same, like he covered the same distance, but the speed is R kilometers per hour, right? And in the same way, you are having the average speed from P to R and from Q to S. Now with the help of this value, you need to figure out the value of R. What you need to do, you just simply need to figure out the value of R. Okay, let's start discussing this as well. So we know that if we are having the data of average speed, so we will use the concept of average speed only. So the question is saying that average speed from P to R is nothing but 280 by 11. 280 by 11 kilometers per hour. But the question is saying that if I want to figure out the average speed where the distance is equal, I can simply say that 2 multiply the speed, the individual speeds, divided by the sum of the speeds. Right? This is my formula. But according to the question, the value of this particular thing is nothing but 280 by 11. Can we eliminate anything? Yes. We can just simply eliminate this 0 and this 0. We can eliminate with the help of 2 over here and we got 14. Again, here 7, right? Now what we will do, we just simply do the cross multiplication. So here we got 11q. 11q is equals to 140 plus 7q, right? Here we got 4q. 4q is equals to 140. That means the value of q that we got over here is 35. The value of q that we got over here is 35, right? Now, the question is saying that again he went from q to s and the average speed in that case is equals to 112 by 3 kilometers. Okay, so average speed from q to s is nothing but 112 by 3 kilometers per hour, right? Okay, so again it is nothing but 2 into, the value of q is nothing but 35 into r divided by 35 plus r is nothing but equals to 112 by 3. Can we eliminate this? Yes, we can eliminate it with the help of 2 first. Here we got 56. I guess now we need to multiply it, right? So 15 and the 1 carry forward, 9, 10. 105 r is equals to 56 into 35. It is 1960 plus 56 r. So here what value we got? We got 49 r is equals to 1960. And the value of r that we got over here is 1960 divided by 49. And it is nothing but 40 kilometers per hour. It is nothing but equals to 40 kilometers per hour. Options are not visible. Why options are not visible? Option number B is the correct one. Option number B is the correct one. Is it clear? Next. Okay. So the next question says that in an office of 900 employees on a particular day, except for 10% of the female employees, all employees were present. On the next day, except for 8% of the male employees, all employees were present. The number of employees present on each of these 2 days was the same. Find the total number of male employees on the payrolls for this office. What we need to do? We need to find out the number of male employees. Here with the help of these 2 lines, you need to figure out the ratio. Like with the help of ratio, you can figure out the values. And with the help of that, now what you need to do, you just simply need to find out the number of male employees for the payroll of this particular office. And the total number of employees that you are having is of 900 employees. How we are going to approach this one? The question is saying that we are having 900 employees, few are males and few are females, right? On a particular day, or we can say on a first day, it is given that on first day, it is given that 10% of the female employees were absent, right? Okay. On another day, it is given that 8% of the male employees are absent. But it is also saying that the number of employees that present on individual days were equal. right? So we can say that the value of 10% of females is equals to 8% of male. 8% of male, right? So from this one we can easily able to say that this percent and this percent is eliminated. Here we are left with 5 and here we are left with 4, right? So from this data I can say that 5 females is equals to 4 males, right? And if I want to write down the ratio in between male and female or female and male, it is nothing but 4:5. That means total number of employees that we are having according to this ratio in the office is 900. But actually how many employees we are having? 900. It is present on the multiple of 10. And what we need to do? We need to figure out the number of male employees. That means they are nothing but equal to 500. Option number B is the correct one. Option number B is the correct one, right? The correct answer over here is option number B. Very good, Hari. Is it clear? Right? Now let's move towards the next and the last question of this particular session. So the question is saying that a fabric seller sells 65 meter of a cloth for rupees 5,850 at a profit of 11 rupees per meter of a cloth, right? What is the cost price of 1 meter of the cloth? What we need to do? We need to figure out the cost price of 1 meter of cloth, right? Here the question is very simple. The question is saying that some seller sells 65 meter of cloth at a rupees of this one. But at each at per meter he earns a profit of 11 rupees. Now with the help of this data, what I need to do? I just simply need to figure out the cost price of 1 meter of the cloth. This is a very simple one. All you need to do is you simply need to divide the values. You just simply need to divide the values. Again, Hari, C is the correct answer. I guess you need to check your values once. Very good, Jaipur. Let's see. The question is saying that a seller is selling 65 meter of cloth in rupees 5,850 rupees. Now first we need to figure out the selling price of 1 meter cloth, right? And that will be 5,850 divided by 65. Divided by 65. So here the cost price that we got over here is of rupees. How much cost price we got over here? Is of 90 rupees. But the question is saying that on this 90 rupees, this is a selling price of 1 meter cloth. On this 90 rupees, there is a profit of 11 rupees. And selling price is nothing but cost price plus minus profit or loss. And here what we are having? We are having profit. That means selling price is nothing but cost price plus profit. Plus profit. So the question is saying that the selling price is 90 and the profit is 11. Then we need to calculate the cost price. So the cost price is nothing but of 79 rupees. Option number B is the correct one. Option number B is the correct one. Very good, fighter. Right? So the correct answer over here is your option number B. So with this one, let's end this video over here only. I really hope these sessions are beneficial for you. So do more and more practice with us, and we'll meet on the Monday at the same time, that is 5 p.m. Till then, keep smiling, stay safe, bye-bye, and thank you so much for watching this video.